Hello, this is Justin Yurong, and this is part one of the 2013 July refresher class on how to register for emstesting.com. Once you receive your email from us that says that you're registered and you receive your course codes, you'll need to register for both emstesting.com and you'll need to access your online textbook. Registering for emstesting.com is fairly easy. You'll go to the link that's in the email, and then at the bottom of the page, you're going to click on the student sign up here. With this, you want to fill in your contact information. Make sure you're using the same email that we have for the course, just so I can cross-reference everything, make sure I'm getting the correct people into the course. So we will go ahead and fill in that information for a student that I'm registering for demonstration purposes, followed by your first name and then your last name. And make sure that these names are, again, the same names that you're using when you are registering with us in the course. And finally, a password. Contact information isn't required, so all you have to do is just fill in the required information in the CAPTCHA box down here. And we click Create Account. Agree to the terms and conditions. And on this page, this is a very important step. We scroll all the way down to the bottom and we find Yakima County EMS. It happens to be second one from the bottom. Click on Yakima County. And then your course that you want to register for is the EMT Refresher July 2013. Make sure you're selecting the correct course. If you do not select the correct course, then I won't be able to add you in. Verify again, it's Yakima County EMS, EMT Refresher, July 2013, and that I'm your instructor, Justin Yurong. When that's done, click the Submit button, and it will send me an email to verify you. Once you receive the email that tells you that you have been approved for the course, which usually will happen pretty quick. If you send me an email and let me know that you've registered for the course, I'll get on there and approve you right away. You'll want to sign in to your new account using the email address and password that you provided initially. So after you log in for the first time, it's going to ask you to pay for the course. We've already provided you with these numbers, so you do not need to pay anything. You just need to go to your email and copy down the number under the gift access card number in this box down here. So I'll pull that out of my email real quick. And when that's done, click on Submit Gift Access Card as Payment. After everything's done, it says your payment's been received and you're ready to go. Click the Enter button. So this brings us to your initial page, and I'll give you a quick tour here on what you're looking at. Prior to the first day of class, there are 3 assessments that you have to do. You must complete the learning style assessment, the reading level assessment, and the test anxiety assessment. These will take anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes for you to do, and basically what it's going to do, it's going to give me an idea on how you learn, so I can customize the course more towards what the bulk of students are going to be experiencing. So again, that's learning style, reading level, and test anxiety. If you want to complete the other 2, you're more than welcome to, but I'm not requiring that by the first day of class. In order to take one of the assessments, all you need to do is click on the down arrow by the assessment, and then come over here and click the Take Test button. Once it comes up, it's going to tell you that this isn't a test, an exam, a screening tool. All I'm trying to figure out is how does everybody fall within the learning environment. If you're someone who has high test anxiety, I have some techniques that we can use to address that. If you're someone who has a hard time understanding questions when you read them, I have some things we can do with that. All I'm trying to get here is just a general sense of where the class is as a whole. So once you get in, click the Begin Test button, and then you just simply go through and answer them. Don't think too far into the questions, just read the statement, and you're either going to agree with it or you're going to disagree with it. So go through and take all of those tests. Once it's done, it's going to tell you your assessment is complete, and it's going to give you the results, which is also going to be sent to me. Once we're completely done with the exams, eventually you want to go back to My Home, which will bring you back to your course page, and then we need to prepare for our first assignment for the class. Now this assignment needs to be completed no later than the beginning of class on Saturday. It's extremely important that you complete all of these online assignments on time, because I take the online assignments and that's how I modify the class based off of that. If you do not complete this assignment before the first day of class, you are not going to be able to take the class. So it's very, very, very important that we get this done as soon as possible. Your first assignment is an adaptive exam. The EMStesting.com adaptive exams function exactly like the National Registry exams do. What that means is that you are going to be able to get a question, and based on your answer, it's going to change the rest of the test. If you get the answer correct, it's going to ask you a question that's slightly more difficult. If you get it incorrect, then it's going to ask a question slightly easier. And it's going to go back and forth until it either the computer understands that you know the content area or that you're lacking in a certain area. So to take our first adaptive test, all we do is we click on the adaptive testing button. And once it loads, we'll come up here to the My Test section and give it one click. Now this will eventually show all the tests that you've completed. Since you haven't taken any tests at this point, there's not going to be anything there. So what I'll do is I'll click on New Test. And then in Area 1, we'll click on Standard Practice Test. This is an untimed test, so if you need to log out of the system and then log back in and take it later, you're able to do that. So I recommend everyone uses the standard test so you're not timed. The second thing we'll need to do is come down here and click Comprehensive Test. This is going to give us a test just like the National Registry exam is. The same length, the same everything. Depending on how well you do, you'll have anywhere between 90 and 200 questions on this test. So I recommend that you have at least 90 minutes to 2 hours to get the whole thing completed. Some students will go through, have this entire test done in 35 to 40 minutes. Other ones take the full 2 hour. So just make sure that you have enough time for this first one so you get used to the testing environment. Once we've selected Standard Test and Comprehensive Test, we'll hit the Start Test button and then Start Test again. So when the questions come up, to navigate around, you're going to see a timer is up here. The timers aren't a big concern, except you don't want to spend any longer than 30 seconds on a question. After 1 minute, it's going to time you out, and it's going to go to the next question if you're taking a timed exam. So it's something you want to be able to kind of pay attention to. When down here at the bottom, obviously, to select an answer, we can click A, B, C, or D. Once you select an answer, you cannot go back. It's locked in, just like National Registry. Down here at the bottom, you can click Flag a Question. What this will do is it will separate out from the test results, and it'll make it so it doesn't count this question towards your test. I don't want you to flag any questions on the comprehensive tests right now. Only reason being is it's not going to give me results on how you did on that question. And what I'm ultimately trying to find out is, where are you in the process? Are you someone who needs help in one specific area? Once we get you through that area, you're going to be good to go for registry. Or are you someone who needs help in multiple different areas? That's what this is going to help me do. Something you do have the option to do is submit feedback. When you submit feedback, what it does is it sends an email to me, and it tells me that you had a question, or that there's something wrong with this question, or you couldn't reason through it by yourself. For this initial adaptive test, there shouldn't be any reason to do the feedback unless you're having a problem with, say, the question is not in the EMT curriculum. Every once in a while, a paramedic level question will slip into these. So if it's asking you something that you know for sure an EMT doesn't need to know, go ahead and submit feedback to me. Later on in the class, when you submit feedback, it's going to send me the question, the answer, and then any comments you put in. So if you're having a hard time answering a question, or if you've narrowed it down to 2 or 3 answers, it's going to allow me to help you reason through the question and find the correct answer ultimately. Like I said, for this test, we're probably not going to need to do that at all. I just want to get a rough idea and see where everybody else is where everyone is at in the class. So you'll go through, select the answer. When you're done, you'll click the next, and we'll go through and we'll do the entire test that way. Now, when you get to the end, it's going to show you the results. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this test now because it's going to take too long to go through an entire comprehensive test to show you what results you'll get. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a abbreviated version of the test in an individual module, and after I take that individual module test, I will be able to show you where the results are, or how to look at your results. Okay, once you've finished your results, what you're going to see is you're going to be able to see how you did overall. Now, it is extremely important for you guys to realize, that if this down here says fail, not, or not good, it does not mean that that there's no way you're going to be able to pass the National Registry exam. All it means is that you did not meet a certain amount of the key indicators. And I don't really need to go in what the key indicators are yet, but all that says is that you're going to need work in that category. Usually after just an hour or two of us talking, you're going to be able to increase these test results significantly. So I just did one individual category, so all it's showing me here is airway. However, you're going to have a whole bunch of categories. You'll have airway, medical, cardiac, resuscitation, several different categories to look at. Please, please, please don't think because you did poorly on this first exam that there's no hope for you. In fact, I fully expect everybody to have either a fail or a not good in most of the categories before we get started on here. The easiest way to see how you did overall is to go to this detailed grid view. And it takes a second for this to load because the computer has to go through and has to calculate everything that you did. So when we're looking at this, and I intentionally tried to get some of these questions wrong, trying to show you guys, the areas, or show you how to do the improvements. But overall, it says that I'm in the 85th percentile of anybody who takes this test. I'm the top 85%, and the score I made, the actual raw score was a 75%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little plus button by airway, which is going to expand all of my airway results from this. And again, I'm going to push the airway plus button again. And what this is going to show me is how I did in each individual section on all the airway questions that I was asked. And again, this takes a while because it has to cross-reference a whole lot of data in order for us to pull these results up. Once it loads, we'll be able to look at the areas and how I did. If you noticed, I failed in a couple areas. I had good in the other areas, but I ended up being exceptional overall. And that's all that National Registry is looking for. National Registry is looking that you know most of the content area that you're dealing with. You don't have to have 100%. The computer just has to think that you know the content area based on the questions you've answered. These numbers over here aren't going to make a whole lot of sense to you. I'm going to explain how to go to each one, what those numbers mean in class, and how to look up those individual sections on the first day of class. So this is all you have to get done for the first day. You have your assessments you need to complete, the 3 assessments, and this computer adaptive exam. After that, on the first day of class, we're going to have a paper and pencil exam that you guys are going to come in and take. And after that, we're going to go over all this technology in more detail and show you how to get the most out of all the course tools we're going to have. So I will see everyone at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at the Union Gap Restitution Center. For the address for that, go ahead and look in your email, and there'll be an address that you can plug right into Google, get you directions there. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Best way is usually by email, and if not, my telephone number is also in that email that we sent you.